The first step of this strategy is to make sure that you're running impact grenades. Now, this is an extension for the gym bedroom bomb site, so you want to make sure that you make your way into cache where you'll be extending. Then throw an impact grenade in the middle of the red triple wall, just like that. And from here, you're going to deploy your shield next to that rotate, just like this. When you do this, you can activate your shield whenever you want to slow people down who are pushing you, and then swing off of your shield where you see fit. The best part about this is that you can pick up your shield and then crouch and literally leave for free with your shield in front of your face. The reason you make the rotate right here in the middle is so that if there's head holes, just like this, they can't shoot you from the construction window when you're rotating. If you put it on the right, they can. Same thing with the left, so make sure you put the rotate in the middle. And then you can just rotate your shield in and out whenever you want to, and then just hold off cache and CC. And whenever you're flushed out, move back into construction, put your shield down, do the exact same thing. And then when they pressure you out of here with your shield in front of your face, you can literally just sprint and leave, vault over the rotate, and then play in Logi and do the exact same thing. Or maybe put your clash shield right here if they open up Jacuzzi breach, and do the same thing here, stun people on that breach, and swing and kill them. Clash right now as a defender is extremely broken, so going onto sites where walls get opened up pretty much everywhere, like Gym Bedroom on Clubhouse, is a great way to utilize the new reworked Clash. Now, that was just one out of 12 different solo queue strats that you're going to need for Siege X. The second of which is going to be an attacking strat for the new remastered Chalet. This is if they're going bar gaming and you're playing ace to attack the basement. Now, typically when you attack bar gaming, sometimes people will reinforce this wall in the basement and then play in the basement. If it's not reinforced, just throw a breaching charge on the wall and open it, and if it is reinforced, go ahead and ace the wall instead. But once the wall is actually open, you're going to sit here and drone the basement. Make sure that you've droned out all of garage, all of connector, and then make sure that your blue hall is also droned. Having a prep phase drone down here is going to make it a lot easier for you, but once you've done this, the whole point of the strat is to go to this staircase and then ace open the reinforced stock wall just like this. When you ace this open, it's going to expose anybody in stock, which usually is a free kill because there's usually like a mirror right here that watches the game window, right? So you can ace that open and get free kills all day. Finally, from here, you can just come in the bomb site and plant behind this desk here, or you can watch your stock and then rotate to the other plant spot right here. Either way, doesn't really matter, as long as you're just taking control of stock with the ace charge I showed you. But instead of attacking bar, let's talk instead about how to defend it. Now, this is a strat with Warden, specifically with a deployable shield, so don't equip the Nitro Cell here. But if you're good with that SMG-12 and shotgun combo, there's a great strat you can do. First of all, you'll want to make feet holes across this wall here. This allows any players who are on your team to watch anybody coming up through mud, or to watch anybody coming through bottom blue, which is going to help you because you're going to be playing on top blue. For now, though, make sure that you barricade mud. Again, just extra information so that you know whenever you're top blue if someone's flanking you. And then for the same exact reason, you're going to barricade the 45 door right here. Now, depending on if you or your teammates want to flank, you cannot barricade this. But I personally like it barricaded because you can just flank up the west main staircase instead of going through the door and still have this barricade as information. You also want to reinforce this wall in 45 just like this. The reason you do this is so they can't just get a buck that opens this wall that watches your walk down when you eventually leave the position of top blue. But that's pretty much all of the necessary site setup that you'll need for the blue stairs position. So come upstairs and put that deployable shield on the top of blue stairs just like this. You don't want to put it flush with the case right here, because if you have a Jaeger or a Mai, he can put an ADS right there to protect your shield, or a mute jammer to protect your shield too. And then once your shield is there, make sure that these two office walls are reinforced. And once those walls are reinforced, all you're going to do is lightly roam somewhere in piano side. At the beginning of the round, if they push shoulder, you can sit here, shoot a bunch of drones, and then just immediately leave. You want to make your presence known, but you don't want to stay here and play your life because it's not really an important position to play. However, top blue on a shield is super important to play. Playing off this shield allows you to stop anybody from walking in the double door. And when you're behind all of this glass, behind all these display cases, it's really hard for any attackers to see you, especially when you're behind a deployable shield. You could easily shoot them. If they're good players, they're going to open this wall with an ace or a Hibana, and then they'll use utility to clear your shield out. When they're doing that, you can either swing them when they go for flashes as Warden with your SMG-12, or you can just back up entirely and then play little pixels, or just play the wall when your shield is gone. If nobody's pressuring library though, I actually recommend that you go into library instead of going down blue stairs. That way you can play in library and prevent them from getting this top floor control, but you'll still have a hatch you can drop down if they end up flushing you out. The entire point of this strat is just to waste as much time as possible and to make sure nobody walks in through the Ivy hallway, which is what this hallway is called. And if you do that, you should have a great solo queue strat for bar on Chalet. That's enough about Chalet though. Let's move on to the next remastered map in Siege, which is going to be Border. Now, good teams, when they push Border, don't typically go for the armory side. They'll typically go back side. And one of the strongest positions that you can hold, especially early round, is going to be top E stairs. If you sit on E stairs, you can prevent them from going in office through this triple wall, and you can really prevent people from playing CC because you can flank them from the east balcony. And the best way to hold E stairs is with an Azami. As Azami, you're going to put barbed wire all the way in Passport right here. That way, if they go through Passport and they try to flank your staircase, you'll know about it. Next up, you'll want to reinforce the left side Passport wall if you have any reinforcements left over, because then you can walk down E stairs without somebody in Passport blowing your head off, and you can play the actual E stairs too if someone's on this door and you don't want to die to Passport. In terms of actual Azami placements, you'll want an Azami barricade in the middle of this rectangle, just like this. That Azami barricade makes it to where you can sit top east without worrying about the door or the window, but you're still able to swing off of it if you want to. Your only worry now is the east door behind you, but just like the east door in front of you, there's an Azami that you can use to protect yourself. And that is the Azami that goes on this yellow shelf, just like this. Now you're protected by two Azamis that you can still swing off of if you need to. I also recommend early round that you open up this door. If you're confident in your gun skill, you'll hear people walk up and then you can run out on them and kill them before they even realize that you're there. It's a very common run out because it works a lot, and the sound on it kind of doesn't work for the attackers. The next thing I recommend you do is go into 90 and reinforce this wall in 90. Reinforcing this wall ensures that if you are playing top east, they can't get in C and shoot you through this wall by opening it. Now for the final step, you want to make sure you have barbed wire on your break room door to your east balcony. That way if they sneak through there while you're fighting somebody like on east, they can't just sneak up on you. And now just play off your Azamis, but don't play your life here. You don't need to die in this position. If you can get a pick, that's great. If you can waste a bunch of time, that's even better. But the most important thing is that you have pressure, and then you just leave whenever you can and play office instead. When you're in office, you can choose to use your Azamis however you want. You can maybe put one on the printer to block your double door, and then you can play off of that if you want to. Or you can play all the way back in Fountain. But as long as you're holding the eastern side of the map, Azami is going to do wonders for you. Just like this next strat for the basement of Bank. Now, for this strat, you're going to be holding Garage primarily. And the best way to do that is by putting a bulletproof camera on this wall, just like this. And then you can sit on this wall right here, have your bulletproof camera watching Garage, and the second you see somebody, all you do is get off the camera and you shoot them. And because you have a DMR, you're probably going to win the long-range engagement compared to an attacker who has drop-off damage and a lot of recoil. So this is definitely an advantageous gunfight for you. In terms of your actual Aruni gate placements, you'll want one on the default server door right here. This is going to protect any Goyos or any players behind the bomb from any utility in server, or at least get them a warning that utility is coming. And then for your next Aruni gates, I would put one on this site hatch, and then put your other one, once that one is finished, on this site hatch. These two Aruni gates, again, just kind of slow down attackers from dropping hatches immediately, which can stop rushes. And then also when the Aruni gate gets destroyed by utility, you'll know, hey, they're probably about to execute, which gives you a huge warning. Now, contrary to what you might expect here, instead of reinforcing this wall, you're going to put head holes all across this wall instead. Then you're going to put head holes all across this wall too, and then you'll reinforce the wall next to your head holes. Now, with this reinforcement and these two sets of head holes combined, you can sit all the way in Garage with your DMR and shoot the head of anybody on the default plant, which is right there. You can even make the head holes just slightly lower to really see their head as they're planting, but their head isn't actually safe to this angle because you're at a slightly elevated surface compared to them. So you can deny anybody planting on the default all the way back in Garage, and no one's going to expect that or be able to shoot you back. It's a strat that's not expected, but works wonders. Just like this next strat for the top floor of Consulate. Now, this is an admin take if you're taking the top floor, but really all you want to do is break open the admin windows. I personally will set down claymores right about here. I brought breaching charges, but you get the idea. If you put it on this corner, only one laser will show, but it will still kill anybody running out this double door. Besides that, though, the hardest part about this strat is actually getting in admin, but if you bait outside the windows or drone it and make sure it's clear, you can hop in. From here, a good team will reinforce these 3 walls and play inside of break room. If they do, all you want to do is throw an ace at the top of the wall just like this, and if they don't, you can just breach it with a breach charge. Acing the top of this breach right here will allow you to see through break room, but more importantly, you can kind of vault around these admin desks to see into the hallway like this to kill anybody rotating through sight. It's a great angle to kind of sit on early round when you're waiting for your team to sort their shit out and get over to where you are. If you don't want to hold an angle for a good 30 seconds though, what I would do is I would open that up for your teammates if they're pushing admin, and then you can rotate while they're working admin over to the main balcony there. Then rappel up to here and get the main closet wall open with your next ace charge. While you're here, you might as well open what people call the suicide window, and then you might be able to get kills on free people who are rotating through here or on the head holes. But normally, I kind of like to open this for ghost pressure and then just return to admin whenever I can. It all really depends on what your team is doing. If your team is pushing yellow, you can solo take admin. If your team is pushing admin, you can stay on the wall. If they're pushing the wall, you can stay in admin. It doesn't really matter. Just kind of do what your teammates aren't doing so you can fill gaps, and then just make your way over to the default plant right here, get the bomb down, and you'll pretty much win the round. Another strat that can win you rounds is the sentry strat for the basement of lair. I get a lot of questions in my Twitch chat about what to do for lair and how to play it, so here's a great strat for the basement. When you're defending the archive site, a lot of people love to come through filtration. So what you can do is you can actually, instead of reinforcing these walls, you can put a rotate here, and then you can reinforce the right side like this, and then you can put a shield inside of the closet right here, and then you can put barbed wire on the staircase like this. And then if anybody pushes down the filtration staircase, you can play off of a deployable shield like this. And if they don't, or if they do and then they run away, you can reinforce the wall right here for late round, up to you. But a lot of issues arise when they start to push from your left, which is why you have a second set of barbed wire, hence why you went sentry, to put here for information. If they do end up pushing through here or opening the hatch, but they're not in filtration, having a rotate right here to be able to play this door and then rotate around to this door is super helpful for you, which is why this strat shines if they end up doing a take on this side instead of doing a take for garage. Although garage is a lot more common, sometimes teams don't do it, and if they don't, this strat will be great for you. A strat that's even better though is this strat for attacking initiation on theme park. One of the best ways you can attack this bomb site is by going cash over, or at least trying to drop this hatch with some sort of utility, whether it be smokes, yings, ashing the mirror that's typically on that wall, whatever it may be. Using some utility to drop this hatch is great because usually there's nobody playing an initiation, and if there is, it's usually only one person. One of the best ways you can drop the hatch is by using a sens. Make sure that you have your sens out, and then you tap your ability button again so that it's turned off when you deploy it. That way you can throw a sens gadget on this server right here. That is not where I wanted it to go, sorry. That way you can throw a sens gadget just like this, which will go up to the mirror and fall back, allowing you to drop the hatch completely safe because they won't be able to see you from the wall or from the door. And then when you crouch behind the desk like this, you can take it down, and then it's good. You can also, I think, more reliably do it from this window instead of doing it from the hatch. Like, I can just sit here and throw a sens gadget just like this, and then when I hop in, check this out, it blocks off the entire wall and all the headles and all the door, right? So if you do it from the window, it's more reliable, but you have less time to hop in than if you were to just drop the hatch. So it's pretty much up to you, but just sensing this off to get in here is really nice. And then if you want to go for a plant behind the statue there and sends to your right like this. That way when you go in, you don't have to worry about any angles here. Then you can take it down, plant, and you have a plant wall that you can use. It's really free to get wins with. I think sens is super underrated for taking sites and taking rooms, so I wanted to show you that in today's video. Something else that's underrated is this next solo Q strat with ram for attacking the basement of canal. Now, when you're attacking the basement, getting any sort of vertical pressure is really nice, which is why I chose ram for this bomb site. All you have to do for your first boogie device is rappel onto this wall and throw your first ram into the radio window just like this. This ram will make vert for you, and if you want to stay on this window, you can upside down rappel and kill anybody in sight or anybody on the door that leads to the locker hallway. I personally like to just throw this ram and immediately leave for pressure because the next ram is right next to you. All you have to do is go up to this double door just like this and throw a ram to the hard left. It will break open the barricade and make vert all along in reception. This gets you vert onto bathroom, the actual stalls, and the door, and anybody playing close to trench on these feet holes here. Your next ram can go pretty much wherever you want. I personally like to place it right here. Placing a ram just like this will make you a rotate upstairs and also get you vert on the most important positions for this bomb site. Then once you've gotten a few kills from vert or from the vert over here, you can walk down to Suba stairs and smoke off the head holes as well as the door that's right next to you. And with both of them smoked off, you can walk up, peek the hallway, or peek the site door with another smoke on your double to plant right here. I really like doing this, as playing vert on this bomb site can get you a lot of free picks, so do with this strat what you will. A strategy that's much harder to pull off though is this Fenrir strat for the top floor of Nighthaven Labs. This is a pretty common one, so I won't waste too much of your time explaining why I do the things that I do, but you want to bring a bulletproof camera first of all and put it right here in IT. This will watch the breach once it's opened, as well as watch the Fenrir mine that you're going to put behind the vines right here in IT as well. When they get the breach open, simply activate this mine, and when they walk in, you can swing off of the position you're playing, which is going to be right here, to get a free kill. But because you're playing right here, your next Fenrir after the prep phase is done is actually going to go outside. You're going to put it on this metal chase just like this. Then you're going to activate it. Once they walk up to try to swing your door, they're going to hit that mine and you can shoot them as they're running away. Because you're playing this position, you need a way to fall back to site that isn't through IT, so I recommend putting a rotate on this wall right here. This rotate's super common, so your teammates shouldn't reinforce it off when they see you making it in the prep phase. Your final Fenrir mine is going to go on this double door to make sure you don't get rushed behind your back. And then I always pocket my fourth Fenrir mine in case one of the original three gets destroyed, or in case they push in through electrical and I need a mine on there, or I need a mine on the connector wall. So again, all you have to do is sit right here. You can swing IT or swing the door or sit on your BP in case any of your Fenrir mines haven't gone off yet. It's a great strategy if you want to have early round aggression and get some free kills. Just like this next strat with Nomad, where you'll be attacking the CC bomb side of Clubhouse. Now, this strategy with Nomad is all based on the fact that they have somebody playing rafters. Whether it's an Azami or preferably a Clash doesn't really matter, because you're going to be able to clear either of them out completely by yourself. How are you going to do this? Well, first of all, when you break down this barricade, don't do it from the right side of the door. If you do, you have a huge shadow that's going to be casted that they can see. If you do it on the left side of the door, they can't see your shadow. So make sure you're on the left side of the door, and then what you're going to do is you're going to throw flashes to burn any Wamais or ADSs, or to just flash people in rafters. So you're going to sit here and immediately flash, flash, and then right after the flashes go off, you're going to shoot your air jabs into rafters like this. And because they're blind, they're not going to be able to hear these air jabs going off or see where they're going to shoot them. And even if they do, you're going to be swinging when they do, which means either they're going to die to your gun or they're going to get air jabbed, in which case you'll be running up the stairs as they're getting air jabbed and you will kill them. If you don't like going Kappa-Tau to clear out rafters because it requires too much team coordination and luck and gun skill, this Nomad strat is a lot more flashy. Again, you just flash in, use all your air jabs and rafters, and the second you do that, you run up, they get air jabbed, and you go for a kill. It's done a lot in Pro League by people who have a lot more team coordination than you, but I promise you this will work in solo queue if you just have the balls to do it. Just like the final strat in today's video, which is a Raura strat for attacking the basement of Oregon. Now to do this strat, you're going to go through Freezer. So obviously make sure in the prep phase you have a drone somewhere in your small tower so you can drone yourself in and get yourself into the Freezer hallway upstairs. From here, if the hatch is soft, you can easily open it up with your DMR and then make your way down Freezer stairs. Your first door is going to go on your flank. That way, if they flank you, you will hear it and know about it. With Audio 2.0, that shouldn't really be an issue. This is where the difficult part comes in. If you want to be able to attack Freezer, usually there's a reinforcement here with head holes all along this wall, and attacking this is pretty difficult. What I would do is I would smoke off these head holes, just like this, and then once these head holes are smoked off, you can swing into Freezer and kill anybody who's in Freezer. Then, wait for the smoke to wear off and pull out your Dom launcher. Now that the smoke is worn off, you can easily shoot a panel onto this double door, just like this. You won't have to get close to the door to be able to do it, like I did, because if they're shotgunning open this wall, there's not going to be these wooden beams right here. So it's going to be a lot easier for you. You can probably shoot it from all the way back here if you wanted to. But now you don't have to worry about the hallway, and you can just swing these head holes all you want, just like this. Not worrying about this hallway is also cool because your next step is going to go to this door. And now you don't have to watch your right when you push into this hallway. Now, this part's really up to you. If you want to push pillar, you can door off the right just like this. If you want to push into site, you can door off pillar, granted that there's a player there that's really in your way. From here, with 2 or more doors paneled off, you can easily take the hallway, maybe even door off a flank if there's still a kid pillar, and then plant in the default position just like this. Or you can take this door and put it on this double door, and then plant here if pillar's clear. There's a lot that you can do if you attack Freezer with Raura, and the hardest part really is just getting Freezer control if they have a player like on the box or behind the box. But if you can get past that, this SoloQ strat will just single-handedly win you the game. With that out of the way though, that is it for today's video. Check out this next video, and I'll see you there.